Hey, welcome back. Okay, so today I'm excited. We are doing what, Shay? I'm gonna let Shay introduce this because we are so excited.
Very
Shay,
excited.
what we doing today?
We are talking about fashion houses and showrooms. You know, showrooms
Woo.
is a stylist's
Yes, it
dream.
is.
We love a
You
showroom.
know, a little bit of everything,
Right.
but the designers and stuff. It's where it's at here and there. You gotta
Mm-hmm.
pop them in and look at here and
Mm-hmm.
there. So, okay, I'm gonna start it off. How did fashion houses start and become important?
So, fashion houses or ma- maison de couture, do
Mm-hmm.
not, I'm trying to pronounce it, is basically a brand or a house that sells high end fashion rooted in luxury, artistry, and craftsmanship. And I always love bringing the facts. So the father of haute couture or haute couture is Charles Frederick Worth, and he is named the father of haute couture because he's known to technically have the first fashion house, which was
Mm-hmm.
in 1858, where he showed seasonal collections to his clients. And so from there, fashion houses became known for a few core things: artistic vision, haute couture, of course, craftsmanship, and global influence, and of course, consistent and elevated brand identity.
Mm.
Then, as fashion grew, we saw showrooms. Showrooms became the space where these collections from fashion houses were shown to buyers, editors, and VIP clients so they could see the work up close, the fabrics, tailoring, and the details. So, showrooms, a lot of stylists pull from showrooms for red carpet. That's
Mm-hmm.
why it's a stylish dream. We love showrooms. Not everyone can get into a showroom. There's a process for showrooms. So, if you have that connect, kudos to you.
Mm-hmm.
And fashion houses became important because they weren't just making clothes, they became cultural institutions. Their design shaped tastes, reflected society, and influenced conversations happening around the world. Showrooms became equally important because that's where the business of fashion happened. Who's buying what, which looks go to stores, and what trends will dominate the season. So, together, fashion houses and showrooms built the blueprint for modern luxury fashion. One side drives artistry, the other drives the access and influence.
I love that. Okay, I got a question.
Yes.
So, do showrooms also is good for like magazines and all that? Do they pull for magazines, or do they pull from their own showroom?
They are great for magazines as well. You can use
Mm-hmm.
showrooms for editorial. And again, it depends on who you're shooting for. And if you're pulling for major magazine companies, you're likely to get access to the
Mm-hmm.
real exclusive showrooms. If not, if it's really a lesser known brand, it's a little bit harder to get into the showroom. So, yeah, showrooms are not just something you can walk into.
Not at
They
all.
have to know, especially your client, they have to know who your client is because
Yeah.
your client essentially is not only selling that designer's look, but it's also selling that showroom
Yeah.
business. So it's really important to take that very serious on
Yeah.
when stylists needs access to their showrooms.
Yeah. I think they have one in LA. I think it's called Fashion Library or something.
Yeah, they have quite a few in LA.
Yeah.
I wish we had a lot in the Bay Area. I think we have like one or two, if that. But that's okay because, Mo and I, we may pop up with a showroom. Who knows?
You never
You
know.
never know. We always have
We
something
got
up
some
our
stuff in the
sleeve,
works, yes.
But
But it
yeah,
is important, and also too, it's just about those statement pieces.
right.
It's so important to have in the showroom. It's just in your wardrobe, just in general. But I just wanted to ask that question
Yeah.
because a lot of people reference a lot of fashion,
Mm-hmm.
was coming out from magazines, so that's why I
Yes.
wanted to ask that. Yeah,
So, what is your favorite fashion house and why?
you should know this one.
I didn't know.
She should know this one, but y'all don't know. Chanel.
Of
Okay, I
course.
love Chanel. Chanel is my favorite, one of my favorite designers. And I fell in love with her because my grandma loved her so much. And she when she found out I love fashion, she would tell me stuff that she liked and the suits and all this different stuff. And also Coco Chanel. And Coco is actually her nickname, but she also created the little black dress. And all women like have a little black dress in their closet. So she's iconic. So I love her to death. And yeah, everything about her. I love Chanel.
Yeah, Chanel,
So she's my fave.
definitely one of the big names.
Yeah. So I wanted to say this. So her suits are iconic, and then her quilted purses, her bags. Those bags run from 10K and up.
Oof.
That's one of my goals, to buy one of her bags. Just FYI. And my new husband, if you could buy that for me, I would love you.
Yeah, mine's too. We're speaking to you
Yeah.
husbands.
Yeah. So, but she also started in the 1920s. Well, the 19, I take that back. Correction. The little black dress started in the 1920s. And it was just an easy to wear, affordable type of dress for a lot of women. But yeah, she did a lot of sophisticated looks, comfort, elegant designs, liberating women. And that's why one of the reasons why my grandma loved her. So I just wanted to give a little background of Coco Chanel, just a little bit.
Yeah, her history is amazing, and
Yeah.
really the contribution she made to the fashion
Yeah,
industry.
and you know she never got married.
You know.
I said, Coco, I love you, but I don't know about that.
Ah,
We gotta get a husband that loves me a little more than him. Don't tell him. I'm just playing. Okay, Shay. How has the idea changed now that fashion is online?
so exclusivity used to be that word. Used to be all about physical access. If you weren't in the room, you just weren't part of the fashion conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Now everything lives online. So that whole idea has shifted. Really, anyone
Mm-hmm.
can access the shows, the collections, the campaigns the second they drop. So instead of gatekeeping by location, brands try to exclusively why am I saying this word right? They try to create exclusiveness through storytelling and community. So social media made fashion way more democratic. You don't have to be an editor or a buyer to have an opinion anymore, especially like with the fashion shows. That's where you see that too. A lot of the influencers and just people who are fashionistas are able to get into the fashion shows now, when it wasn't always like that. So people also expect more transparency and access. So brands use things like limited drops, wait lists, and hype to keep things feeling special. But those wait lists and drops sometimes drive me bonkers, because you're talking about
Yeah.
selling out in a minute. Like,
Yeah.
you be there like, oh, almost got it.
Yeah.
So today, it's about meaning and identity, not just you can sit with us.
Yeah, just like that brand that we wanted to. It's called Glam or something.
I think it's like Glamour Lifestyle or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
And it's with the purses, but it's
Their
like
drop
really
is coming soon.
Okay,
And there's
good.
another drop too for this brand name. I think it's like Lamar something. It's a black owned brand, and I was like, oh, we
Well,
gotta.
we gotta keep each other because I definitely want Glam. What's I want a little quilted bag. You know, sometimes you ain't gotta get the Chanel right there. You get something
Right, we
that's
working
like,
our
and
way
it's
up.
supporting black owned business.
Yeah,
so.
and we waiting for our husbands to,
Mhm.
surprise us. So
Yeah.
we letting them do that.
Yeah, because he gon' I'm like, I do it. I gotta practice my surprise lip.
There you go. What makes something look truly luxurious to you?
So to me, I would say it would be fabric. The material is definitely important because you could tell. And then the hardware. The hardware is very important. And they also was saying too, like high quality materials is important, and the craftsmanship. And then unique aesthetic like of that design was important. Also too, stuff that's not being very flashy.
Yes.
And I thought that was interesting because I wanted to go to AI just like really see like what they say, because I kind of know already, but I thought that was the flashiness of it, and then the detail to like how it's marketed. So that's how also if it's exclusive, it's whatever. But yeah, like you were saying before, like being online, the long lines and stuff like that. But sometimes when you go to certain houses, you like a Hermes, you gotta literally be on like a list and you have to wait. So it's brands that really have, those things, and that's how you know that it's really made with TLC. So
Very true.
yeah.
And Mo and I are bag collectors, and so we can just look at a bag and already tell the craftsmanship, and then you feel it, and you could tell
Yeah.
like they didn't really put work into it. It
Yeah.
may look nice on the outside, but when you feel the material, you look at it, really all the details, you'll be like,
We know it's gonna peel in 3 days.
So it's important,
Mhm.
with even luxury brands, like really look at the bag, feel the bag, look at the details, and you'll see why you're paying the money you're paying. And
Yeah.
sometimes luxury brands they're not doing their craftsmanship like they should.
Mhm.
And again, you can tell.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. What does it take for a brand to become a real fashion house?
So first, a brand has to have a clear artistic vision. It's not just about making clothes, but having a point of view that people can instantly recognize. There has to be real commitment to craftsmanship, like we spoke about earlier. It is important the material, the
Mhm.
hardware, the way it's put together, and the longevity. That all that ties into the craftsmanship. So fashion houses are built on technique, construction, and attention to detail at the highest level. Most true fashion houses also have the ability to create haute couture or couture level work, things that are handmade, custom, and extremely technical. And like I said, longevity matters. And the need for global cultural impact, meaning the brand isn't just selling clothes,
Mhm.
it's shaping conversations, aesthetics, and trends around the world, taking your favorite fashion house where Chanel started to where Chanel is. And just throughout the years, you see how Chanel made a global impact. And there were always different stories and statements made from when Chanel started out to,
Yeah.
how the fashion house grew. So these fashion houses, you're talking about been around for like hundreds of years, and so that is a legacy and it requires a lot, so you can't
Yeah.
just pop up with a fashion
Yeah.
house.
I agree.
So Mo, how do you see old school luxury compared to new age style?
So I went to AI. I was because I some of these questions I know, but some stuff you just need to get the information. So it says old school style luxury focus on traditional and classic craftsmanship. It's value timeless designs and high quality materials, often conversing a sense of exclusive and status. And then the new school style, on the other hand, it is about the innovative and exclusiveness. It embodies modern looks, diversity, influence, and a more flexible appearance to luxury. The style highlights personal expression and culture, including of using following traditions. So in a short term, it's old school values the heritage, which the new age style celebrates creativity and availability, like accessibility.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. Okay, Shay, how are black designers changing the luxury mean? What's black designers changing about luxury? Or what? I think I said that
Yes.
right. Okay.
So black designers are redefining luxury by making it feel personal and cultural, not just expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It's less about the price tag and more about the story behind the piece. Mo and I have mentioned Brandon Blackwood, Nathaniel Noor, which is Norex is his brand. These are pieces that really have personality and it's have culture, and they may be expensive to some, but they're not expensive out to like a Chanel or Hermes. But these brands are amazing, and I love having them in my closet. And so they're bringing in elements of heritage, community, and lived experiences. A lot of black designers focus on innovation and identity over exclusivity. They're saying luxury is for us too, and creating pieces that reflect our world and our voice. Like Brandon Blackwood heels, one of my favorite heels they have is like a pump. It's a pump, and it's a taxi cab for the heel.
Oh yeah.
And I love that because it really gives you New York vibes. And so again, that's how you see it's the live experience that they incorporate into their brand. So we're seeing luxury through Black designers become more inclusive and expressive. Bold silhouettes, strong colors, textures, and references that come straight from Black culture.
I love that. Love it.
So if you can walk into any showroom, which one would you choose, Mo?
You already know. Chanel. Yeah, Chanel. I feel like she's also like old school and new school because I feel like she goes back and dibble and dabble in like her old designs, but it's a lot of stuff that's very fresh and stuff like that. A lot of things too you can very much so mix and match it, which is I love. It's more because for me like when I do designers or anything, it's about adding to my look, finishing my look. So when I wear stuff, I don't wear all designers sometimes. But she's a designer that I would love to be head to toe Chanel. That's just me. So it will always be Chanel when it comes to head to toe designer. So yeah.
That's great. And the thing about showrooms too is that you have showrooms where the brand themselves have their own showroom that you pull directly from, and then there's showrooms that have multiple designers. But usually, like when you're pulling archival versus like vintage items, you usually have to go to the actual brand to get those. Because those are their archival designs. You're usually not gonna walk into a showroom unless the showroom has that.
Yeah, so. And that's why I would rather go old to new with Chanel, and I feel like you can definitely mix the old with the modern. So I feel like Chanel's maybe the only one I would. If I would want it to be mixed with Louis Vuitton and different, a lot of Black designers and stuff like that, just to get. Because every designer view and their storytelling is different. Right. Their experience of life is different. So I would want that. But if I had to pick one designer, it's going to be Chanel. Head to toe, I could do Chanel head to toe. So, yeah. Okay. Hey, Shay. What's the real difference between ready-to-wear and couture?
This is one of my favorite questions because I always sometimes get tripped up and then I have to always remind myself. But ready to wear, or if you say it in French, is pret-à-porter.
Pret-à-porter.
And then for Dutch is confection. So you'll hear those three used interchangeably when you're talking about ready to wear. And it's basically the clothes that a brand designs for the general public. So it's produced in sizes sold in stores and meant to be worn right off the rack. So when you walk into the store, that's ready to wear. Now, haute couture is the complete opposite. It's custom, it's handmade, and it's created specifically for one client's body measurements and needs. Ready to wear is about accessibility and wearability. It's fashion designed for every day, even at the luxury level. And then haute couture is about artistry, the craftsmanship, the details, the hours of work, the creativity you can't mass produce.
I love that.
So now you know when they say, it's ready to wear or it's haute couture. Oh, another thing I should say is that ready to wear gets produced in factories versus couture happens in what they call ateliers. I can't say ateliers.
It's usually one of a kind.
Yeah, so it's like a special studio workshop. And so I got all these fashion wears.
Yeah, a lot of handwork, a lot of special fabrics that's made for that specific piece when they design it. A lot of designs that's like made for those pieces. And a lot of couture is one of a kind, and sometimes it's extremely over the top. Yes. Couture is amazing. I love couture.
I love it. And Elsa Schiaparelli is my favorite fashion house and designer from, I love her. And it's Daniel Roseberry, I think is the current creative director. But yeah, I just love it.
Yeah.
So Mo is Chanel, and Chanel. I'm Schiaparelli.
Yeah, I love Chanel, the classic.
Yeah. So who are some new designers you think deserve more attention?
So I did Black designers.
We love that.
So I wanted to highlight Black designers because Number one, I feel like because fashion, I mean, we've been setting trends forever, but I feel like they don't get enough recognition when it comes to fashion houses and showrooms. And so I will always, as I get deep in my career, make sure that I and pull somebody, even my assistant, make sure that they getting those experiences because it took a very long time for us to even be in the world of fashion. And we always been in the background and people didn't even know. So I wanted to name black designers. So Christopher John Rogers. He's very artistic, bold colors, fashion. His fashion is very beautiful. And then Telefur, everybody knows. But I want to get the nickname. His is a lot very unisex, but is they call one of his bags Bushwork Birkin. So that's one of the things that he did. He also, I think a couple of his bags was on like Sex and the City and stuff. Even Brandon Blackwood as well. And he's also another designer, but he does more purses. Telefar is going into no, I feel like Brandon Blackwood is going into clothing as well.
Yeah, he designed.
Yeah.
He custom designed for Renaissance for Beyonce. One of her
Yeah.
gowns.
So
yeah.
yeah, there you go. So those are three, and then Laquan Smith. We just talked about him, and yeah, so those are a few.
So go support.
Yeah. So Shay, what actually happens inside a showroom? Who is it really for?
So a showroom is basically the place where a brand presents its collection up close, not for general public, but for people who shape what we end up seeing in stores and in media. Buyers come in to touch the fabrics, see construction, and decide which pieces they want to carry in their stores. Stylists and costume designers come through to pull looks for shoots, red carpet, TV, or editorial, as we mentioned earlier. They're looking for standout pieces that match their creative direction. Editors and influencers might be invited so they can preview the collection and start building buzz before it officially drops. The designer or brand reps walk people through the inspiration, the details, and the story behind the pieces. It's a whole experience. It's also where a lot of the business happens. So orders get placed, connections get made, and decisions are made about which looks actually make it into the world. So it's a lot that goes on, but it's very exclusive. And again, like not everyone has access, and you can get access, but it requires a lot of pull.
Yeah. So. And a lot of black faces are not in those exclusiveness. So just saying.
Yeah.
Which is not okay.
Mm-hmm. So how do you wear designer pieces without losing your own style?
So for me, I add designer to finish a look or to add a look most of the time. I never wear it because it's designer. I wear it because I love it. So designer pieces is something that I add to my look. I never be like, oh, head to toe. And now there's only one designer I will love head to toe, and that's Chanel. But that's going to take me a little bit in my lifetime to be able to wear Chanel head to toe because it's extremely expensive. But even now, I would take pieces from Chanel just to add to my look because that's where I'm at in my life right now. So I would say, yeah, that and it helps me not to lose my style because I do like to budget. I love vintage. I love thrifting. So I would rather, keep my sense of budget to not go over budget. But I do like expensive pieces here and there, so I would say that's so I won't lose my sense of style.
I like that.
Yeah.
Say to it.
Okay, so this is the last question for Shay. Where do you see the future of fashion houses going?
I definitely see the future of less gatekeeping and more storytelling and identity, as well as seeing more creative directors from diverse backgrounds. Just, to name Pharrell as an example over Louis Vuitton Men. His first collection alone, you saw it was a story behind that. Even having the choir singing the Joy song, it was a whole story, something different from Louis Vuitton Men. And I think that is exactly where we're going to continue to see fashion houses go. It's more of that storytelling, more personal narratives, and hybrid experiences. So you're going to see tech come into that, AI, and you're going to have these virtual components. So it's more accessibility and not again that gatekeeping. And overall, in the future of fashion houses is to feel more open, more global, and more intentional, where the artistry and relevance matter just as much as the heritage. So
I love that.
Yeah,
Love it, love it.
so Mo's gonna close it out for us. What's one classic fashion house that still feels fresh today?
Okay, so this one is a surprise because I did not. I didn't pick this answer. This was straight AI. Google was like, okay, let me see, because I was like, I know what I picked,
Right.
but let me see what everybody or mostly everybody thinks
about,
or
yeah.
whatever. So they picked Chanel.
Can't
It
go
was,
wrong.
and it surprised me because I literally thought it was gonna be like Gucci or Louis Vuitton. I literally thought, because I felt like that's more, but like a lot of stuff that I was saying, that's how they feel. Like, so what they said was one classic fashion house that is still feel fresh today is Chanel, with its iconic pieces like Chanel No. 5 perfume and classic tween suit. Chanel maintains its timeless appearance while continuously revealing itself through innovative collections and collaborations. The brand also blends tradition with modern trends, keeping it exciting and in ever changing fashion landscape. I was like, wow, that's exactly how I feel about Chanel. Like, I literally feel that way. And a lot of people don't see it. Most people wouldn't see it that way because, they think, oh, it's older, but it doesn't. Like, Chanel is one of the fashion houses that really evolved. And a lot of, because I'm obsessed, I have seen it evolve. Like, and it's so crazy too, because I can walk up to about, that's Chanel, huh? But because it still always have its classic like look, but it is so modern. Like, you would be like, dang, I would have never thought that they came up with that. So I love it. I love that they still are relevant, because it's such a good fashion. It's such a good designer.
It is.
Saying.
And I think what's interesting too about Chanel is that for a time period recently, they didn't have a creative director for a while, and they were trying to choose a new creative director. And please forgive me, y'all, but I cannot remember the name of the current creative director. But that was a huge thing because everybody was like, what's going to happen with Chanel? Like, is the brand going to be able to evolve? Is it going to be at a standstill? Because they did not have a creative director. And creative directors to fashion houses are so important because not only do they continue the legacy, but they bring a fresh perspective to the legacy.
Yeah, so. And they need to know the history.
Yes.
They have to really, really know their stuff when it comes to when they step into that role. And it's so important because you want to keep that classic look of it. Like how I said, I could walk up to somebody and be like, that's Chanel.
Yeah.
You want them to keep that. So it's so important. But yeah, it's really important to pick a great one for your brand or design or whatever you want to say. But yeah. Okay. Luxury used to be about money, but now it's about meaning.
Exactly. The new luxury is culture, not just clothes.
So we're ending this episode. I love this episode. How much did you love this episode?
Oh, I really enjoyed it. I feel like I could talk about it more, so maybe we need like a part 2.
Yeah, I think we should do a part 2 because this was a good one that kind of dig deep into things and kind of, show y'all some stuff.
Yes, and showrooms that are out there. Invite Mo and I out for an exclusive tour. We would love that.
Yeah. So we can see and we can learn and, So we're wrapping this up. Shay, what do we need to add to this?
Already know. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share, and watch and comment. Please, we want to hear from you. Yes. You need to know, what do you want us to talk about? What you want to learn more about?
I agree. So we're wrapping this episode up. Thank you. We appreciate you guys.